A long time ago, humans were ruled by gods and monsters. But a half-god named Perseus defeated the Kraken and saved humanity. Afterward, his father Zeus offered him the chance to become a god, but Perseus turned it down. He chose to live as a human even after his wife died. He didn't ask the gods for help and instead decided to live a simple life with his son, Helios, as a fisherman. Their peaceful life didn't last long. One night, Zeus visited them with bad news. The gods were losing their power because humans were no longer praying to them. The gods could no longer keep the demons locked inside Tartarus, the gates to the underworld, power to make a difference. With no other choice, Zeus went to Tartarus with his brother Poseidon and his son Ares to repair the walls. There, they met Hades, Zeus's brother, who still hated everyone for banishing him to the underworld. Hades betrayed them by releasing the demons, and fireballs flew everywhere, throwing the gods into the air. Zeus and Poseidon tried to fight back but were too weak to win. Poseidon was knocked out by the attack. Things got worse when Ares turned on his father. He struck Zeus in the face and knocked him out. Then, Ares took the thunderbolt, making himself stronger. Meanwhile, chimeras, monstrous creatures, came out of the mountains and attacked the people. Perseus noticed one of the chimeras flying toward their village and rushed to stop it. The creature crashed into the buildings, causing a huge explosion. The villagers gathered around the crater, but the chimera began attacking them with its tail and fire. Perseus ran toward the monster, searching for his son. The chimera attacked, breathing fire everywhere, but Perseus jumped onto its head and tried to fight it off. However, the creature threw him off, roaring in anger. The monster charged at Perseus and knocked him across the field, dragging him through the wreckage of buildings. Perseus quickly recovered and trapped the creature with metal chains, pulling apart its heads. Finally, Perseus tricked the chimera into setting itself on fire, and the creature burned to death from its own flames. After a hard-fought battle, Perseus manages to defeat the chimera, but not without suffering multiple wounds. To his relief, he finds that his son Helios survived the attack, thanks to his brave efforts. Perseus quickly takes Helios to the temple of the gods, hoping to pray to Zeus for help, but when they arrive, they find the temple in ruins. All the statues have been broken, and there's no sign of believers left. Despite the destruction, they manage to find a statue of Zeus and begin praying. As they do, a shadow forms inside the temple, revealing Poseidon. The god, though gravely wounded, shares the grim news about Zeus's fate. Poseidon tells Perseus that only he can save the world now. He urges Perseus to find his son, Agenor, who is with Queen Andromeda. Agenor knows the way to find Hephaestus, the fallen god who holds the key to defeating Kronos. With his final words, Poseidon fades away, leaving only his trident behind. Meanwhile, Ares has taken Zeus captive. He reveals his anger toward his father for favoring Perseus over him. Hades mocks his brother's plans and tells him of his grand scheme to sacrifice Zeus to Kronos. They take the weakened Zeus to the heart of Tartarus, where the enormous body of Kronos is dormant. There, they chain Zeus up and begin draining his powers, transforming them into lava and transferring it into the Titan's massive form. Hades explains that Kronos promised them immortality in exchange for their help, but Zeus laughs bitterly, warning his brother that Kronos will never spare them. Back on the surface, Perseus dons his armor again and bids farewell to his son. He rides Pegasus into the sky, heading toward Queen Andromeda. As he flies, he sees the armies preparing for battle near the entrance to the underworld. Perseus lands in front of them, and the soldiers cheer, recognizing the hero who defeated the Kraken. He reunites with the queen and explains the crisis, telling her they need to find Agenor, who is also a demigod and may hold the key to stopping Kronos. They make their way to the prison, where Agenor is locked up for causing trouble with the queen. Perseus informs him that Hades killed his father and promises Agenor vengeance if he helps them find Hephaestus. Reluctantly, Agenor agrees to join the cause, and the group sets off toward a mysterious island that only Agenor can locate using the trident. The journey to find the fallen god begins. Soon, the group arrives at a vast land filled with giant trees. However, Perseus quickly senses something is wrong when massive traps are triggered, and Agenor gets caught in one. Before they can rescue him, a giant tree is hurled at Perseus, and to his shock, a massive humanoid creature appears before him. Perseus tries to run, hoping to lure the creature away from his friends, but just as they prepare to ambush the monster, a second one appears behind them. The soldiers launch arrows at the new creature, enraging it. The beast retaliates by tossing the warriors aside like rag dolls, crushing them as if they were mere insects. Meanwhile, Perseus continues to evade the first giant, who wreaks havoc, destroying everything in its path, including the surrounding trees. The demigod eventually finds a cliff and notices a trap set up by the giants. Seeing it as his only chance, he decides to make a final stand. The Cyclops charges at Perseus, shouting angrily, and tries to crush him. But Perseus quickly stabs the creature's hand, causing it to scream in pain. The soldiers seize the opportunity and attempt to tie the monster down with ropes, but the giant continues to struggle, throwing Perseus to the ground. Despite their efforts, the monster breaks free. Perseus activates the trap, sending a heavy tree trunk crashing onto the Cyclops' head, knocking it out cold. Feeling victorious, Perseus approaches the creature, but soon the massive Cyclopes offer to lead the group to their destination, and soon, they stand before a colossal building, the home of the fallen god, Hephaestus. Inside, the heroes are greeted by Hephaestus, who recognizes them immediately. To their surprise, the god reveals that he is the one who built everything for the gods. He then tells them that the only way to defeat Kronos is by combining the 3 legendary weapons of the gods to create the spear Triumph. However, to obtain the remaining pieces of these weapons, they must venture into the heart of Tartarus, where Hades resides. The only way in is through the labyrinth, which Hephaestus himself constructed. Without wasting time, the group heads toward the infamous maze. They soon arrive at a massive spinning structure that seems to be descending toward the center of the earth. As they board the structure, a projectile suddenly crashes in front of them, knocking everyone back. It turns out that Ares has tracked them down. One of the soldiers had prayed to him, and now the god of war is here, effortlessly slaying the soldiers like they're nothing but bugs. The group braces for another battle, knowing that their journey is far from over. The evil god Ares walks toward the girl who had prayed to him and, with a cruel smirk, stabs her with his massive sword, showing that the god of war is certainly not a simp. Just when things seem dire, Hephaestus manages to open the entrance to the labyrinth. The old god rushes in to stop Ares, sacrificing himself so that the others can escape into the maze. The heroes make their way inside the massive structure, and quickly realize just how complex it is. There's no turning back now, they must keep moving into the unknown. Hours pass as they navigate the twisting, puzzle-like pathways. But something isn't right. The walls begin to shift and move, trapping them in. Panicking, they quickly run in the opposite direction as the building comes to life around them, crushing everything in its wake. In the chaos, Perseus is separated from his friends. He is pushed deeper into the maze, falling further down. Before he can get back on his feet, a creature attacks from behind, attempting to pierce him with its sharp horns. Perseus reacts quickly, managing to shove the beast away. As it tries to charge again, he realizes it's a vicious minotaur. The creature strikes again, but Perseus uses its momentum against it, redirecting the attack toward the wall. He breaks off one of the minotaur's horns and uses it as a weapon, stabbing the creature relentlessly until it falls dead. With the minotaur defeated, Perseus moves forward. His friends finally catch up, and they discover that the entrance to Tartarus is just ahead. At the same time, the Titan Kronos has absorbed all of Zeus's energy, causing his giant eyes to snap open. Hades, seeing the power of his father, begins to second-guess his decision to free the Titan, but is quickly interrupted when he hears Zeus calling his name. Zeus, weak from his captivity, apologizes for banishing Hades to the underworld and pleads with him to do the right thing. But before Hades can respond, Ares strikes from behind, knocking Zeus to the ground. Hades, recovering quickly, retaliates, and in the struggle, both gods fall into the abyss below, plummeting from the cliffs. Just when all seems lost, Perseus arrives and finds his father, Zeus, trapped and nearly destroyed. With the god's weapon in hand, Perseus is able to break Zeus free from his bindings, but Ares shows up just in time to create a shockwave, sending everyone flying. Before Ares can deliver the final blow, Hades reappears and temporarily stops the evil god, giving the others a brief chance to escape. However, Ares manages to seize the pitchfork from Hades and, with great strength, throws it into Zeus's back, impaling him. The entire place begins to collapse as Kronos breaks free from his underground prison. But Zeus, in a final act of defiance, grabs the godly weapons and slams them together, causing a massive explosion that sends the heroes away to safety. The heroes quickly transport the old man back to the army base. Laying him on a table, Zeus, though gravely wounded, tells Perseus that in order to stop Kronos from destroying the world, he must take the lightning bolt from Ares and use it to forge the spear of Triumph. With no other option left, Perseus prays to the god of war, preparing to challenge Ares to a final fight inside the temple of Zeus. The demigod says a heartfelt goodbye to his friends and rides Pegasus into the sky, with the army cheering him on for his bravery. Soon after, a huge explosion erupts in the distance as the mountain shakes, sending a massive shockwave across the battlefield. Balls of fire rain down from the sky as demons crash into the army, charging with fury. The soldiers fight desperately, but they stand no chance against the hellish monsters, falling one by one. Meanwhile, Perseus arrives at the temple of Zeus, ready to confront Ares, only to be horrified to see that Ares has taken Helios hostage. The evil god plans to make the boy watch his father die. Furious at Ares for threatening his family, Perseus charges forward, weapons drawn, but Ares quickly overpowers him, throwing him to the ground with ease. The god of war continues to strike Perseus while the boy watches helplessly, throwing him into pillars and knocking him down over and over. Notices Helios standing up against him, despite the odds. The boy's bravery enrages Ares, and that's when Perseus sees his chance. He tackles Ares, stabs him in the chest, and chokes the god of war until he submits. Perseus then takes Ares' weapon, stabs him in the stomach, and watches as the god of war disintegrates into dust. With Ares defeated, Perseus grabs the three legendary weapons of the gods and combines them into the powerful spear of Triumph, glowing with immense energy. At the same time, Hades appears before Zeus and apologizes for his earlier betrayal. He grabs his brother, sharing his power, and together they revive the once-fallen deity. The two gods head to the battlefield, using their combined strength to destroy demons and clear a path toward the Titan Kronos. Kronos breaks free from the mountains and roars furiously at the gods. Zeus wastes no time, charging up his energy and unleashing it on the Titan, causing massive explosions on Kronos' body. But the Titan is hardly affected. He swipes at a nearby mountain, destroying everything in his path. Perseus, now flying on Pegasus with the Spear of Triumph, prepares for his final strike on the monster. Kronos throws a massive barrage of lava at Perseus, forcing the demigod to dodge midair as flames engulf the battlefield and consume the soldiers. Seeing his son in trouble, Zeus joins Hades, charging up a final attack. Together, they send a massive shockwave that pushes Kronos back, giving Perseus the opening he needs to close in on the Titan. Kronos retaliates by slamming the ground with a massive punch, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. But the attack is too powerful. The barrier breaks, and Zeus is sent flying into the rocks, badly wounded. Perseus takes the opportunity, flying directly toward Kronos' face, charging up the Spear of Triumph. Through the flames and destruction, Perseus drops her, and a surge of energy explodes from within. The Titan screams in agony as his body erupts, causing a massive explosion that engulfs the sky. The soldiers cheer in victory, and the battle is won. As the dust settles, Perseus finds his father, Zeus, alongside Hades. However, it's clear that Zeus is fatally wounded from the battle. Perseus rushes to his father's side, holding back tears. Zeus tells him to use his powers wisely and thanks him for everything he has done. Slowly, Zeus turns to dust, fading away into nothingness. Time passes, and Perseus returns to his son. He gives Helios the weapon, urging him to remember the god's sacrifices for humanity and to never forget who he truly is.